Let me try and get in a sense of perspective and bring in my guest, who is a journalist and author, Reham Khan, who joins me live on the show. Thank you so much for joining in on my show, Reham. Now, let me begin on a more perceptive note. As someone who was closely associated and married to Imran Khan, what were your thoughts when you learned of this attack on Imran Khan?
I think it's nothing to do with any sort of personal association with anyone. Any sane human, any Pakistani would be obviously genuinely shocked, and it was very scary and shocking news. And it's shocking not only because obviously everyone should be allowed the right to hold a political assembly and the right to protest. So of course it's shocking, but for a country like Pakistan, where we have seen genuine assassination attempts. We've seen the rather shocking assassination of Benazir Bhutto, Shaheed, and that is still alive, fresh in our memory. So it is always one of those concerns, and also because Pakistan cannot afford any more instability.
Reham, in his first address after the assassination attempt from the Shaukat Khanum hospital, Imran Khan has said that he was already aware of a sinister plot to kill him. He says he had made a video naming the 4 individuals who were part of the conspiracy to kill him, and that he had stashed that video abroad. Imran Khan and the PTI don't think it was just the work of a lone gunman. How do you assess Khan's claims?
So while I categorically condemn the firing incident that happened during the rally, I also categorically want to condemn the press conference by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf chairman and Imran's words naming the DG counterintelligence as one of the suspects or he's convinced. I mean, with conviction, he laid out these 3 names, and to malign, defame a major general who is in charge of counterintelligence, who has been awarded just recently, actually, in the last year, he's been awarded for his brilliant work for counterintelligence. I think it's just appalling and completely. I think it's something which is amounts to defamation, and I think that the ISPR have now released a statement that they will take it further, and they expect the government to issue a legal notice for defamation. And this is just irresponsible. It's an incitement to violence, and of course one must ask that the rally took place in the province of Punjab. The Punjab province is under direct governance of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. And so really, if he had knowledge, if Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leaders, and particularly Imran, had this knowledge and this conviction that somebody was out to get him, then should they not have had a better security plan and arrangement? That surely the responsibility lies with the Chief Minister of Punjab, the law enforcement agencies of Punjab, and you're putting everyone's lives at risk for your vested interests. If you knew that, then surely you should have taken care of security arrangements and perhaps not ventured out. Don't forget that Faisal Wada, one of his very close confidants until recently, went public just before the march and warned that it could turn quite messy, and that he was worried about the safety of all of the people attending, and he was his comments were dismissed. In fact, he was given marching orders from the party. So if Imran had this knowledge, I think it would have made a lot more sense to take care of security arrangements for himself.
Reham, it's interesting that you mentioned those claims being made by Imran Khan, because he has named 3 men as suspects: Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Pakistan's Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah, and Major General Faisal Nasir. How do you weigh in on the alleged involvement of senior ISI General Faisal Nasir? Is it possible for the ISI seniors to operate without authorization from the Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa?
This is a ludicrous, a preposterous suggestion by Imran. And, every week it's one new person on his so-called verbal hit list. He's not spared anyone, whether it's a female session judge or, whether it is anyone who he thinks is not completely besotted by him. Imran will name and shame them. So until recently, it was other members of the armed forces and other members of his political opponents. And now suddenly he has started using derogatory names in his speeches, particularly targeting this army officer. So I think the mention of the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif or the Interior Minister, that's also, quite ludicrous. But particularly naming the DGC a Major General and suggesting that he would, it's an institution. So the short answer to your question is no, it's not possible for somebody to operate independently. And B, I don't really think that Imran is I think he's a bit of a megalomaniac, to put it lightly. And I think that right now, the armed forces, and particularly those who are in charge of counterintelligence and those who are in charge of the intelligence agencies, are more concerned about stability and economic recovery of Pakistan. So we cannot afford any more instability. So it would be pointless. So one has to see the motive behind turning this into a face-saving exit, maybe, from a march that was pretty dead to begin with. And also don't forget that the motive behind all of this press conference and even this horrible accident or incident, I think is the fact that it would not help anyone in the armed forces or indeed in the government to be targeting Imran like that. It just, nobody wants to make him a martyr. Nobody wants to revive his march that actually saw very, very few numbers.
Reham, Imran Khan's fallout with the army is not new. We have seen similar fallouts with the military in case of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, even Benazir Bhutto, who accused Pervez Musharraf of threatening her life. Will the current wave of sympathy help Imran Khan's victory march to break Pakistan Army's hegemony, especially when there's growing backlash against General Bajwa?
So first, I think there needs to be a reality check. Let's be honest, Imran is no Bhutto. So, there is a huge difference in the sort of followers he has, the sort of resistance they can put up. They're no Jialas. And, he's a burger celebrity. So I think it's just, he's just trying to make the best of a really bad situation. And he's making a mess as we go along. I think that he isn't going to get anything out of it. A sympathy wave is... in my understanding, I think it will actually perhaps discourage more people from following the march, because people have been very inconvenienced, and of course nobody wants this ugliness. And he's gone too far with his press conference today as well. While everyone was pretty upset and was very concerned that that he should be fine and that all his followers and those who were on the container with him should be safe, because nobody wants, as I said, no sane person in Pakistan or anywhere would want anyone hurt or, God forbid, dead. But I think that this is not going to serve any purpose. So this cannot be compared with, I think it would be just unfair to compare him with other leaders. Yes, there has been a resistance and a growing resistance against the army, but don't forget that the times where the army has been targeted or been on, has taken criticism has been because of their political meddling in the democratic affairs. This is completely different. This is the opposite. So when I was criticizing Imran and people like myself were criticizing him that you should not be giving an extension to General Bajwa back when he was in favor with them, that was perfectly fine. The fact that he just wants to win favor back, the fact that he's behaving like a spoiled brat and is just throwing tantrums right, left, and center, that's a completely different thing. So when a politician says that we want civil supremacy and that we want the chief executive or the parliament to be supreme, that's completely different to what Imran wants. Imran just wants, he's just a toddler asking for more candy on Halloween. That's how I see it.
Now, Reham, Imran Khan had previously blamed the United States for toppling his government, an allegation he was unable to prove. And now he has a new set of allegations which involve the ruling government and the deep state. What do you make of this blame game?
I think Imran is just desperate. I mean, these are desperate times for him. And, one feels, honestly, pity because, he's been a hero for such a long time. It's very difficult to lose the audience, to lose the praise, to lose the benefits of sitting in the prime minister's chair and doing nothing. And I think it's something that it's very difficult for him to accept. Even in his party, I think only those who do not have a promise of a ticket from the PMLN or other members and parties in the Democratic coalition government, if they have no promise of a ticket, those are the people you will see backing up or supporting Imran, but not many.
You know, Reham, there's the other aspect that I'd like to talk to you about, the role of religion in Pakistan's politics. PMLN Vice President Maryam Nawaz has accused Imran Khan of blasphemy, an accusation that was also made by the alleged gunman, who is also a follower of TLP, an extremist party known for weaponizing blasphemy. Is religious extremism being used as a script, as claimed by Imran Khan himself in his latest address from the hospital? And isn't the religion card often used by Pakistan's politicians, including Imran Khan himself?
I think that this is a very valid point, and I think that the religion card has been used, misused in Pakistan. It's a very, very dangerous thing to do, and I think everyone needs to be very careful to involve and to drag religion into this. And like I said, there's no shortage of madmen, and we have to be very, very careful when we are living in a society that's deeply polarized. And I think we cannot afford any more incitement to violence. So it's regrettable when it's used. And as you said yourself, Imran is guilty of it himself. Although I must also clarify that the leader of the TLP have made a statement and have distanced themselves from this incident, and have said that they have nothing to do with this gunman, and that this was a sole attack by a sole gunman. But of course, it's irresponsible to drag things like blasphemy or the religion card into a very volatile scenario and a volatile society when it comes to religion. So I think that everyone has to be careful for the sake of our future. And Imran should have known better, but like I said, he's basically used it in the run up to the elections 2018. And the tweet that you're referring to, I must also clarify. I think it was the tweet was in reference to posters used by Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf linking not voting for Imran to basically going against the will of God, and that is just going. But that's typical of them, and I think that needs to be there need to be better, stringent rules about what you can put on posters, what you can say in jalsas, and certainly we have to be very, very careful. I can't stress it enough that we have to put an end to this.